Hi guys. God, I sound terrible today. Hi guys, I'm finally sitting down to work on my first prompt for the year for One Little Word. It's been a pretty full-on month, so this is the first opportunity I've had to sit down and really think about it. I didn't want to rush through this first prompt. I think it's super important to spend a lot of time sort of thinking about it, so I didn't want to rush through it, so I have waited basically till the end of the month until I have enough time to sit down and properly mull over my word. So I did all of that last night. I did all of my thinking and all of my writing. I have just typed all of these up rather than make you watch me because that would have been a super long video, and so now I am just gonna get started working on the decoration part, I guess. So this year I'm keeping the same format as I did last year. I'm using a fabric traveler's notebook cover from the Stamp Swap, and I am going to work in a pocket page notebook. I got smart though, and I'm going to work in 2 pocket page notebooks. I have just covered them with some pink sparkly book cover, just to make it pink, because you can see I've got a bit of a theme here. So I've got my my 2 notebooks, so this way I'm definitely not going to run out of room, and I've also got my reading notebook in here as well, because that's sort of part of the challenge for the year. So I'm just going to start working on my first notebook, and I'll move into the second one whenever I need to. Now, as far as new supplies goes this year, I did not get much, I'll tell you that. This is all I got. I grabbed a couple of stamp sets from Ellie Edwards from the new stamps from One Little Word, and the colourful chipboard bundle, and that's it. I got this because I love colour, obviously. I don't want my One Little Word project to be particularly black and white this year, so I got the colourful chipboard, and I just got these stamps so that I could easily translate some of these prompts into this format. Although I will say now that they have offered a 3x8 size album for One Little Word, and a lot of the printables are 3x8s as well, it does make it super easy to create these traveler's notebook sized ones, because they're only 8 1/4. I've only needed to increase the width a little bit, so this was the 3x8, and I've just added a little bit extra in Photoshop to make it a traveler's notebook size page, so that does make life a little bit easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started, and yeah. So the first thing I want to do is remove the front page of my pocket page notebook. I want a transparent pocket at the front, so I'm just really carefully ripping the front paper piece out, and then you can pull out the back of that paper. So you can do that anywhere in the notebook, it doesn't have to be at the front. I generally don't do it at the front, but I do it on the inside sometimes. You can also do the same thing with the plastic pocket. I can't obviously tear the plastic pocket, but you can really carefully cut down the middle with scissors and then pull out the back side of that pocket. So in the front here, I've printed out a selfie on vellum. My printer, if I'm really careful, does that quite nicely, and so I've just trimmed that out to fit in the pocket and put that in, and then I cut myself out a little sticker from gold vinyl on my silhouette, so this make it visible was I think in the actual Ellie Edwards kit it's a wood veneer piece, but I've just got the digital kit that came with the class, and so it's a digital stamp in that kit, so I just added that into the silhouette software, traced it, and cut that from gold vellum. Now this is again from the Printables. I haven't altered really anything. This is all just stuff that was given from January's prompt. So I've printed out this card, this 3x4 card. I've just printed it on paper. All of my stuff is on 160 GSM paper, and I'm just going to glue it down where it looks good behind the photo. Normally I would have put it in the middle of the page, but looked a bit weird being right behind my eyes, so I have moved it up to the top. And I'm gonna put my word for the year in the middle here, and I had these simple stories stickers. I had pink or yellow that I wanted to use, and in the end I decided to go with yellow because there's enough pink on the front page as it is. And so this is my word for 2019, open. I had played around with a lot of words for a while towards the end of 2018. I knew sort of the feeling and actions that I wanted for the year, but I wasn't entirely settled on a word. I was chatting with Michelle about it one day, about some of the words that I was tossing around. And it hit me, open. Open was exactly the word that I wanted to use, so I settled on that really quickly, sort of towards the middle of December, and right up until last night, I really haven't thought that much about it. And then when I started doing some of the thinking and the writing behind the word, it just really reinforced the reasons why I had chosen open in the first place. So you'll see that I have been stamping out this quote, and I didn't make you watch the whole thing because it was did take me a little while. I've stamped out, be open to it being way better than you imagined, which is one of the things that I really want to focus on this year. Trying to get past that fear of what might go wrong, what might happen, what people might think, and be more open to the idea of it actually could work out way better than you imagined. So these are all of the 4 3x4 cards. So obviously there is a fifth card, which is the quote one, which is why I've stamped out my quote on that other side there, because I'm going to turn this pocket page into 2 3x4 little pockets for my cards. So I glued them back to back so they stuck together and didn't sort of flap about in the pocket here, and I'm going to use my fuse tool to alter this page in my pocket page notebook. So I'm putting in my first lot, and then I'm going to fuse down the side here to make it 4 inches. 3 inches. It already is 4 1/4. The thing with doing this is this bottom pocket isn't going to be open, so when you're fusing your pockets like this in the pocket page notebook, you have to work on both sides, and you have to be prepared that you can't change it once it's in there. So that's the only reason, the only sort of negative side with doing this is once it's there, it's there. So my issue is that once I've fused these pockets and go through it and read it later on, there are quite a few spelling errors in there. I probably should have done a spell check, but like I said, I was working at night. I was just rushing to try and get it down while the thoughts were in my head, and so I didn't spell check it, and I'm just going to have to live with that. Now on my next paper page, I am going to stick down my intentions for the year, and again I just did those all in Photoshop with the PDFs that were supplied with the class. I did alter them slightly. Like I say, they were the 3x8 PDFs, and I just increased the width a little bit so that they were 4 1/4 wide, so that they fit into my pocket page notebook, and that was fine. So this one's easy enough just to slip into the pocket, and the other two I am going to have to glue down. I just typed them out in like a typewriter font so that if I carry on typing anything through the rest of my notebook, it'll all stand out together. But I wanted a little bit more color, so I did use a highlighter to highlight some of the key phrases and words in there as well. Now the last thing I have to do, apart from destroying this piece of paper that I had already trimmed down with my terribly blunt paper trimmer, so I'm going to try that again. I'm going to stamp out, what are they called, like a monthly intention. I really enjoyed doing those last month. It was really good to have that sort of extra task to do, because once the sort of prompt is finished, I found it handy to have another sort of goal to work towards. So I'm going to carry on doing that, but instead last year I had sort of digitally created a template that I used each month. This year I'm just going to use this basic format, which is to use some of my stamps to create this page. Now I'm a little bit stuck this month because, like I said, it is very near the end of the month, so I didn't pre-plan this, so I haven't already done something. I'm going to have to fill this in. I'm going to do it off camera because I haven't actually really thought about it. I'm going to need something super simple because I've only got like 7 days left of this month anyway. Now I went back through here and you can see where my stamping has bled onto the front page, and I really don't like that. Normally I would just be like, and leave it. But it's the front page, I want it to look good. So I grabbed this Heidi swap pad and I'm just going to cover it up with a little bit of pattern paper. I really like that sort of black and white spotty one, but when you look at me through the vellum, it does look like I've got some sort of weird disease. So I'm going to go with just this pink tiled pattern, and as carefully as I could, I pulled that card off the page, and you can see there was a little bit of trauma there, but nothing too bad. So the card piece did come out a little bit worse for wear, so I decided to embrace the sort of imperfection of it, and I stitched that onto the pattern paper and then glued the pattern paper down onto the front. You didn't see that because my camera stopped working, but this is the finished prompt for this month. I've got my vellum selfie, which I started last year as well, decided to carry on with that, my opening word, my quote, and then all of my journaling for the year ahead, I guess. And this month's task, which I'm still to fill in. I'll update you on how that goes next month. If you're joining a one little word or doing your own one little word this month, then leave me a comment down below and let me know what your word is. I think it's really important that we support each other through this. It's nice having an accountability partner, and you guys are all definitely that for me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.